What's going on, guys? Welcome back to DCS World. Welcome back aboard the Hornet for another tutorial. Today we're going to look at using the gun, the M61 Vulcan cannon, for air-to-ground. Now, we've touched on the gun for air-to-air engagements, but it is also useful for air-to-ground strafing runs. Now, I should preface this by saying that the gun in the Hornet is no GAU-8 Avenger, as with something like the A-18C, so its air-to-ground capabilities are a little bit limited, but it can still be quite effective. So let's get ourselves set up for an air-to-ground attack run using the gun. As with everything, we need to get our master arm switch to arm. Let's get ourselves into air-to-ground mode. And it selects our stores page for us. Now, you remember we used our weapon select switch to select the gun for air-to-air. However, that is not the case for air-to-ground. We actually need to select the gun from our DDI here. So we see a push button here with the label of gun. Let's click that guy. And we have a couple of options here. We have CCIP, Continuously Computed Impact Point, similarly to when we were using unguided bombs. We also have manual mode, which enables a manual gun pipper that you can use to, if you wanted to manually compute depression and dive angles and things like that. For our purposes, we're going to use CCIP because CCIP does all of that work for us. The only reason you might use manual mode is for if whatever reason your CCIP wasn't working. So let's just assume for a moment that CCIP will always be available to us, and that's what we're going to use the majority of the time. And that's pretty much it. If we go back up to our HUD, some basic symbology here. We have the gun sight pipper denoted here. CCIP and gun selected with the number of rounds remaining, 578. Now, to use the gun for air-to-ground is very simple. Similarly to a CCIP dive bomb, we're going to roll in and dive on a target and place our pipper on top of the target that we want to destroy. And when we get an in-range cue, we're going to squeeze the trigger. Short bursts are helpful, usually less, 50 to 100 rounds are your best bet, and hope to destroy the target. The steeper your dive, the more accurate your shots will be. The gun in this has a pretty significant spread, which, again, the gun was mainly used for air-to-air engagements, but for air-to-ground, it can be quite effective. You just need to keep some things in mind. So keep in mind that the steeper your dive angle, the more accurate you will be. I've got some targets on the road over there to my left, just itching to be destroyed, so let's unpause the mission, and let's see if we can get them. So we're out of active pause now. Those targets I'm going to let cross to this side of my canopy frame. We're going to go for that big cluster next to the road there. And I've got labels on to make it nice and easy to see. There they are, so we're going to roll in. And this isn't going to be that steep of a dive, but it should be good. Roll out. Throttle back to idle. We can see the range cue.
Altitude.
And we're about in range now. And squeeze again. Pull up. And we did some good damage there. Alright, we can fly up again. You don't need to be super high, but the higher you are, the more time you'll have to line yourself up in the dive. So I like to be above 6,000 feet at a minimum. There. Roll on in. This one's a little bit dramatic. We're going to get a real steep dive angle this time. Something like 50 degrees. Zoom in.
Altitude.
Squeeze the trigger. And as you can see, I'm only doing short bursts, 50 to 100 rounds. You don't want to press and hold the trigger. You're just going to burn through all your ammo. And we got another kill over there. So real easy, real simple to use. Air-to-ground gun in CCIP mode. get out there and practice with your targets, and we'll see you for the next video. So take care.